Good morning, everyone. This Monday morning, we are going to discuss about our biological subject or neurological subject is about sleep. Title is 10 benefits we can derive out of adequate sleep. If you don't get adequate sleep, you have suffer from these 10 factors beside some more. And this faculty, I mean our sleep related mechanism of our brain, is still nascent. Studies are being conducted thoroughly about the impact, negative and positive impact of our sleep. But these 10 factors are absolutely, positively, perfectly known that if you are getting ample amount of sleep, there are certain benefits, and if you are not getting adequate amount of sleep, there are certain detriments. That is why babies sleep about 20 to 20 hours. They wake up for nursing. As soon as nursing is done, they go back to sleep. That's a growth factor. Babies will not grow if they don't sleep that long. In Japan, sumo wrestlers are just like baby. They are fed 1,000 to 2,000 calories, and then again they are asked to go to sleep. This way they grow weight. And that's the only way they actually become so obese, so huge, so big that they can become or gain the name sumo. Those of us who must have experience for working nocturnal shift or graveyard shift or night shift, they are absolutely depressed, tired, fatigued, totally lethargic during the daytime. Daytime they can sleep around 10 o'clock, but if this sleep is not adequate, this sleep is not enough, this sleep is not sufficient, this sleep is not resting. We have to have night sleep because night sleep is always satisfying and gratifying. There is a scientific reason behind that. When the sun goes down, darkness can create a kind of hormones which actually put us to sleep. And when the sun actually rises, serotonin, these kind of hormones actually spring up, they will wake you up. So melatonin actually is going to put us to sleep. During the daytime, serotonin is not going to put us to sleep. So those people who want to sleep during the daytime, they cannot sleep as good as they sleep at night time. I have actually chosen 10 different kinds of benefits out of adequate amount of sleep. Point number 1 is boost our immune system. If we get adequate sleep, means 8 to 10 hours sleep, depending upon our activity and all that. But I'm not talking about 12 hours or 6 hours you stay in bed, because that means we are lethargic, we are sluggish, we are lazy. That's why we are staying in the bed and does not want to leave the bed just because the person actually has to face the reality of the day. That's why he doesn't get up and he stays in the bed. But we do not sleep 10 to 12 hours. After 8 hours, our sleep is already exhausted. Our sleep is gone. We are absolutely exhausted of sleeping 8 hours. So if you get 8 or 9 hours of sleep, that is more than adequate to actually re-energize you, revitalize you to face the reality and activity of the whole day. Point number 2 is prevents weight gain. Adequate sleep means you are not going to gain weight. You are not going to become obese or bimbo or bimbat. You are not going to grow bimbo or bimbat if you get ample amount of sleep. If you are not getting ample amount of sleep or working graveyard shift, means in night shift, then you are depressed, and depressed people always run to refrigerator. They eat more because they need lots of carbohydrate. Carbohydrate actually makes you feel good when you are depressed. It can actually alleviate your depression. That's why you are going to look for ice cream and the Maggie and the bananas and the potatoes and this sort of things. Point number 3, strengthen our heart function. Those people who don't get adequate amount of sleep because of the work or job, night job or anything like that, their heart actually gets damaged, does not function adequately, appropriately, or properly. Better sleep, better mood. You must have met the people who have not gotten adequate amount of sleep last night. All day they would be irritated. They would be all day they would be angry. They would be bitching about every single thing. They would be totally depressed and agitated. They would be angry. Their mood would be totally rotten. And they would be biting everyone around them just because they did not get ample amount of sleep. Increases our productivity and creativity. If you go to sleep around 10 o'clock and you get up at 6 o'clock, that's the best regimen of sleep, I would say, and I have experienced it and I'm still practicing it. Because 8 o'clock is the right time to go to bed, and 6 o'clock is the right time to leave the bed. And you are going to find out that after 8 hours of sleep, the right time of sleep, 8 hours doesn't mean you go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning and get up at 10 o'clock in the morning. No, that 8 o'clock is not, this does not have any kind of merit at all. But if you go to bed at 10 p.m. and you get up at 6 a.m., that's the best time to get best, adequate, soothing, and absolutely relaxing sleep. Then you will have all day productive and creative. Point number 6, inadequate sleep can prove to be detrimental. If you get inadequate amount of sleep, like 6 hours or 5 hours, and you don't have any kind of discipline in sleeping time, sometimes you go to sleep at 11 o'clock, next day you go to sleep at 1 o'clock, then again you go to sleep some afternoon, enjoy some siesta, and again next day you go to bed around 2 o'clock in the morning. No. This kind of haphazard sleep is very detrimental for your heart, for your mind, for your mood, for your productivity and creativity. So don't have haphazard sleep, but you should have very properly arranged, very rightly arranged, absolutely adequately arranged regimen to go to bed and wake up. We have a biological clock. If we disturb the biological clock, then the biological clock is going to disturb our entire health. So don't actually go weird on your time to sleep and get up and all that, but it should be very disciplined, appropriately arranged, properly planned. Point number 7. It increases our body and mind performance. Adequate amount of sleep can increase our body and mind physical and cerebral performance. If we are a student or teacher, we have ample amount of energy during the daytime to prepare the subject. And if we are doing some kind of physical work, then we will have physical strength and stamina to do the work with lots of strength, lots of energy, lots of focus and lots of motivation, because if you have energy, then and then you can focus upon your task. Point number 8, improves our memory. It improves our memory too. Adequate amount of sleep improves our memory. Less amount of sleep actually destructs our neurons. It creates memory problem, it can create cerebral problems, we cannot focus, we cannot concentrate, we have a slight headache all day long, we have depression, we are irritable, we cannot focus or concentrate upon anything because we have not gotten adequate amount of sleep. Point number 10 is processing memory. Sorry, point number 9, processing memory. To process our memory, we need adequate amount of sleep. If you don't get adequate amount of sleep, or you get inadequate amount of sleep, meaning excessive amount of sleep can be detrimental, and least amount of sleep can also be detrimental. If you don't have ample amount of sleep gotten last night, then you are irritable, you will not be able to focus. But if you sleep 10 to 11 hours, then you have lethargy. Still, you cannot focus on your goal or on your task. Point number 10 is less sleep and neurons damage. Our neurons get damaged by less or inadequate amount of sleep. When the neuron gets damaged, then our memory is impacted, our focus is impacted, our concentration is impacted, all negatively. So our neurons must not damage. Get adequate sleep, and your neurons are going to work absolutely positively, properly. So these are the 10 vital benefits we can derive as a dividends of adequate sleep. Thank you very much for listening. See you again tomorrow. God bless everyone on this planet. Bye.